Dave Ramsey is smart, but is his advice actually outdated in 2026? Because while millions of people have used his principles to get out of debt and build wealth, the economy, housing market, and cost of living look completely different today. So in this video, I want to break down where Dave Ramsey is absolutely right, where I think he's wrong, and whether his advice still works for young people trying to build wealth now. If you have any thoughts on the things I say in this video, please leave them down below. To start though, we need to figure out what Dave Ramsey actually says, because if we don't know that, then we can't really deem if he is right or wrong on these issues. So the first thing Dave Ramsey believes in, and it's probably his main stance, is to avoid debt at all costs. This is credit card debt, student loan debt, even a mortgage, right? He says that getting a 15-year mortgage is okay, keyword only a 15-year mortgage, but even then you should try to get out of that mortgage as fast as possible. He says to never go into car loan debt, never go into credit card debt, try to avoid student loan debt as much as possible, meaning going to community college, picking cheap options, stuff like that. The next thing he believes in heavily is to use cash instead of credit cards. Now this can extend to debit cards as well, as it's really just a digital form of cash technically, because it's directly taking the money out of your bank account, but he believes in credit cards in no way possible. Whether you pay it off at the end of every month, whether you're responsible with it, he still recommends nobody to get a credit card. He believes in a starter emergency fund before trying to get out of debt, which is $1,000. People, however, have a misconception of Dave Ramsey's starter emergency fund plan, as they think that this is the only emergency fund you need. He then later says to expand it to 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses once you get out of debt. However, a lot of people think this starter $1,000 is the only thing you need. No, that's what you need before you start working of getting out of debt. But if you're already out of debt, build directly to 3 to 6 months is what he says. He also has a baby step plan that kind of involves all of his principles into one simple 7-step plan, which we'll kind of talk about a little bit later. But he also recommends paying off debt with a debt snowball method. Now, most people recommend paying debt off with a debt avalanche method, lining up your interest rates from highest to lowest, and then paying off the highest interest rate first, because that's mathematically the better way to go about it. However, Ramsey has a different approach. Ramsey follows the debt snowball method, which indeed lists your payments from smallest to largest, paying the smallest one off first. The reason for this, that he says, is so that you can get out of debt in a more simple way. For people who are struggling with debt, it seems really hard to pay off the highest interest rate first, especially when it has a really high payment. But if you can knock off payment by payment by payment and see that progress, thus the snowball rolling over time, you have the motivation to continue to keep going. He's found that to be really successful. Another thing Ramsey believes in is living below your means. Now this sounds really crazy in our day and age, but it's something that he does still believe in. Not spending more than you make, which sounds like a really simple concept, but it's something that people don't follow. He also believes in not trying to impress people, investing consistently for retirement in the long term, not trying to get rich quick or anything, but slowly but steadily investing and investing. He also says to avoid car payments as much as possible. We talked about this earlier with auto loans, but overall, sticking to a strict monthly budget, not overspending, and giving every dollar a job is another main principle of his. All of that being said though, I vomited all of his principles, all of his values, and all of that, which is great, but that really doesn't add anything unique. I first want to talk about why he's right, and then later I'm going to get into some points that I think he's wrong on, and then at the end of this video, I'm going to give you my overall personal opinion and conclusion on if Dave Ramsey's advice is outdated for us. Now, let me start with where he is right? Because he does have some points, and I think Dave Ramsey is smart. He's been successful. He's created a multi-million-dollar company helping people get good with their money, and there's a reason for that, because it actually works. The first thing he's right about is most Americans do spend too much. So many Americans overspend, and they live beyond their means. Not only do they do that, though, is they just spend money that they don't need to spend. I think oftentimes we get into this headspace that we have to spend every dollar that comes in. Once we invest our 15% or invest our 20%, we have to spend everything, and that's not necessarily the case. Another thing he's right on is debt keeps people financially stressed. He pulls this wisdom from the Bible, where in Proverbs it states the borrower is slaved to the lender. And there is some truth to that. When you are in debt, and you're in debt that you feel like you can't escape, you feel like you're buried, you feel like you're sick to your stomach, and it feels terrible. So he is right about this idea that debt debt does make us feel financially stuck. He's right in the sense that simplicity helps beginners stay consistent, right? I'm a big math guy. I'm a big numbers guy. I love working with my own money, so this is kind of fun for me, but some people get really stressed out about money. And so to break it down more simply and help people just break down things into simpler, easy steps can help them go further, thus the debt snowball method working a lot better, and thus not trying to play a credit card game instead of just completely eliminating using credit cards as a whole. Another thing he's right about is budgeting gives people control. This is a big step. So a lot of people just don't have budgets at all, and their money just willy-nilly gets out of their bank account and people have no idea where it's going. They get sucked into subscriptions that they don't even realize they're paying for. They don't invest smartly. They don't save smartly. And overall, they just don't have a budget for their lives, so they don't know where their money's going. Another thing he's right about is emergency funds prevent financial disasters, right? I totally agree with Dave Ramsey. People need to have emergency funds in their life because if they don't have an emergency fund, they're more prone to go into debt when they lose their job, when they get a big expense they can't pay for, anything like that, right? If you don't have an emergency fund set aside for at least 3 to 6 months, but I would recommend up to 9 to 12, you could be absolutely in some financial disaster if you get a bad payment you weren't expecting to get hit with. Another thing he's right about is his take on lifestyle inflation. What this is as you get more promotions, as you get more raises, as you get more comfortable, you tend to find more ways to spend money. It doesn't necessarily mean that prices are going up, even though they actually are, but you just get a better lifestyle because you become more used to it. And so your baseline of what you need in a month starts raising, and then your ceiling begins to raise as well. I think he's also right when discipline matters more than income, right? If you want to retire, you can do it on a low income as long as you're being disciplined and investing consistently. Another thing he's right about is his advice works well with people who have bad money habits. It's something that's worked for decades, and there's a reason it's worked for decades. He's also right on staying out of consumer debt, right? Credit card debt's not great. Now, his extreme stance on credit cards is something to maybe deal with or wrestle with, but actual credit consumer debt is terrible. And then a final thing that I've kind of talked about already that he's really smart with is long-term investing still works. You don't need to get into crypto scams. You don't need to gamble. You don't need to buy NFTs to be able to become rich in the long term. You can still use basic index and mutual funds, and you're going to be completely fine by doing that. All of that being said, however, this video would not be controversial if I didn't talk about the things where he is wrong with, or the things that I think he's wrong with, or that society thinks that he's wrong with. So let's go through some of those reasons. The first thing he could definitely be deemed as wrong with is the housing prices and rent are completely different now. Now, I still think it's possible to buy a house. Anybody can still do that, but it's much harder than it used to be. And I feel like Ramsey and his principles tend to make it oh, it's just this another step in the process, when in reality, it can be a major sacrifice for the average American. Now, if you're making over 6 figures, or you're making freaking $200,000 to $300,000 a year, you can buy a house with a year's worth of salary, or maybe 2 to 3 years worth of salary, right? But if you're making $50,000 to $60,000 to $70,000, buying a house is not easy, right? Back in the day, you might have been able to buy a house for $50,000, and you might have been making $10,000 to $20,000 a year, and that's still 3 years worth of salary, right? But these days, houses are nowhere near that. You got to pay $300,000 to $350,000 to $400,000 in some areas, maybe even $600,000, right? And when our incomes have only maybe doubled compared to housing prices tripling or quadrupling, it gets much harder to actually buy a house. That being said, I still think it's possible. However, I think this principle of Ramsey saying it's just this easy next step, that is nowhere near the case. Buying a house is really hard in this day and age. Another thing that I think he could be wrong on that I don't personally see, but I know a lot of people have a gripe with him with, is credit cards can be useful if you're disciplined. Look, if you're not going into credit card debt, if you're paying it off every single month and you're building good credit and you're building miles for free flights and you're building rewards points and you're getting cash back and you're doing all those things and you're paying it off every single month no matter what, then I don't necessarily see a problem with you using a credit card. And look, maybe I'm wrong on this. Maybe Ramsey would stick on his word. When he goes on podcasts or his personalities that work for him go on to podcasts, they always say, I would not borrow money no matter what. Even if I got $1 billion zero interest loan, I wouldn't take it. And a lot of people that sounds ludicrous, but I respect him sticking to his principles and sticking to his values, but I think at the heart of what that might be coming from is that he doesn't want to get his words jumbled up. When he makes his plans, when he speaks, he doesn't want people thinking they can cheat his system, right? He doesn't want people thinking, oh, I'm smart enough to use a credit card when they're actually not smart enough to use a credit card, right? And so what I believe he does is he uses this blanket advice to be like, hey, don't use a credit card no matter what because there's no point in it when you can just use a debit card, right? So again, I see his point and I see his values and I respect that a lot. And I don't personally use a credit card because I just don't see the point in trying to game the system, trying to get miles, build credit yet. Like, I'm not in the landscape for that. I might get a credit card soon so I can start building credit for a house, right? But overall, this idea that you should never use a credit card and that nobody should ever use a credit card, I don't feel like that's the greatest argument in the world. But again, that's just something that I slightly disagree with him on. Another thing that he could be seen as wrong on is that his returns can sometimes be a little over-exaggerated. He states that most index and mutual funds you can get to go up from about 8 to 10%, when in reality a more safer number would probably be around 7%, right? Again, has the market been going up a lot more in recent years? Yes, but to give that exact number over whatever it is, like 40 years into the future, it could seem to be a little bit over-exaggerated. Again, that's a very small detail, but it's something that people disagree with him on. Another thing is avoiding all debt isn't realistic for everyone, and I think that he understands this and he gets that, but some people have to take student loan debt out. And although he's fine with that as long as you're being smart with it, and he's kind of fine with a 15-year mortgage as well, that just can be really hard and stressful for some people. And although it's a great principle to not go into any debt, sometimes it's completely unrealistic for some people. Again, I agree with this though. I still agree with avoiding debt at all costs, but there's still an extent to it where you might have to go into debt for a little bit of time. Again, overall, I kind of addressed this earlier, but his advice can feel too one-size-fits-all. He gives this general plan that works for anyone, right? And I think that it can, right? In a perfect world, his advice works for everyone. But in some situations, in some crazy situations, his plan doesn't necessarily work, right? Like, what happens when you build wealth with your wife for 20 years and then she steals all your money and cheats on you and you get a divorce, right? Like, his plan kind of goes out the window in that instance. Sure, maybe you can rebuild again with the plan, but I don't know, just sometimes that plan, one size fit all, like, it doesn't work for every individual situation, I believe, right? The principles are great, and I completely 100% support Dave Ramsey in that sense, but in some instances, it's not the perfect plan, right? Again, I talked about this earlier, but I do believe younger generations are facing different economic challenges. Again, I'm not saying it was easy to manage your money back in the day. I'm sure a lot of people struggled financially, and older generations still struggle financially today. Don't get me wrong, I totally believe that, but I think what they struggled with is different from what we struggled with. Again, they didn't grow up with iPhones and technology and stuff like that, whereas we have people getting rich off of social media, right? They didn't have that back in the day, and that's a challenge that they had. However, I do believe that inflation, housing prices, and stuff like that are completely fear-mongering our current generation in a way that they didn't have to deal with. So when Dave Ramsey is kind of pointing back at those things as oh, they're not that big of a deal, we still had our challenges, I totally believe that each generation has different challenges, but I feel like in that there's a slight negation to our impacts that we're facing. And again, we've talked about this earlier, but I believe in a sense that not all debt is equally as bad, right? I don't like debt at all. I don't like being trapped by having to make payments to other people, and I have no intention of ever doing that. However, there is a difference between credit card debt and a car loan, right? Usually you're going to have much higher interest on a credit card, whereas he just hates all debt equally, it seems, but credit card debt is significantly worse than some of the other types of debt that you can go into. But again, I've listed things that he believes in. I've listed the pros. I've listed the cons. What is my overall conclusion of Dave Ramsey in my personal opinion? Here is my personal opinion. I think out of every finance influencer out there, Dave Ramsey is my personal favorite. Don't get me wrong. I think his values, I think his principles are great because I totally believe that you should be investing consistently. I totally believe that you should be avoiding all unnecessary credit card debt, student loan debt, auto loan debt, right? I totally believe in that as well. I believe in making a budget, giving every dollar a job. I think that's really important. I think there's wisdom in setting up savings accounts, investment accounts. He also says to try to pay for your kids' college. I totally believe in that as well. He preaches generosity, giving back, donating to a church or a charity or something that you feel passionate about. I think that there's something amazing about giving some of your money as well. And I totally respect what he's built. However, the things that I do disagree with him on are some of his hard opinions, right? Again, has anybody ever gone into debt by using a debit card? No. No. Like, that's obvious because he can't go into debt using a debit card. And that's one of his catchphrases, and some of his other personalities through his team use that same thing. But at the same time, using a credit card, I don't feel like is inherently evil if you aren't going into debt. Again, there's a reason credit card companies exist. They exist to make a profit, and they profit off of other people going into debt. But if you're not going into debt, then there's not necessarily an issue with using one, I feel like. Another thing is, like, yes, I totally agree that buying a house is great, and I still think it's possible. However, it can be hard. And his idea of you have to do a 15-year mortgage, yes, I want to be able to do that. If the world works out perfectly, I would hopefully be able to buy a house without a mortgage. However, realistically, am I going to be able to do that? Probably not. Is anybody else going to probably be able to do that? Probably not. Like, I feel like I'll be in a situation to pay off a 15-year mortgage, but some other people my age might not be able to. And so, again, I agree with him, buying a house is great, and I think it's possible. However, I feel like it's much harder than he's leading it on to be. Again, another thing I kind of disagree with him on is that this 7-step baby step plan is perfectly going to work for anybody or will help anybody get out of debt. And I think it'll work. I think it probably could work for 100% of people, and I think it will work great for 70 to 90% of people. However, I think that there could be other plans. I think that there could be other steps that you can use from time to time that will work better than a 7-step baby step plan. It comes off as he thinks that 100% of people think the 7-step plan will work for everybody flawlessly, when in reality it might not, right? Let's say I got into a bunch of debt. This is one thing that I've kind of an issue with is I'm a big math guy. I'm a big numbers guy. It's something I pay attention to. And so for me, if I had a bunch of debt, the debt avalanche method would work so much better for me because I'm just so numbers and data, like stuff like that. Like that just makes more sense to me than the emotional appeal of paying off your smallest debt first and letting it snowball, right? I would feel a much greater impact knocking out those highest interest rates first. And so that's just one step for me in the 7-step baby step plan that I think that would work better for me personally. And that might work better for you as well if you go with his plan but want to change it just slightly, right? Again, I think that you can follow his core philosophy and his core beliefs without following every rule exactly, and you'll still build generational wealth. Again, I just want to make sure I restate this. I love Dave Ramsey, and what he's accomplished is impressive. However, I can see why people can find him slightly abrasive or slightly wrong about some certain financial topics. I think his overall message is great. I think what he's done is great. However, this one-size-fits-all mentality, I disagree with in a slight bit. Overall, I love the guy, though. Shout out to Dave Ramsey if he ever sees this. Probably won't, but you never know. Check out another video of mine on your screen right now. If you want to click here and watch that, I'd really appreciate it. Peace out.